Hi, beautiful, and welcome to the Neo Self Care Podcast, the oasis of self love in your week. I'm your host, Vashti Maya, here to sprinkle some authentic gems on your self care journey. No matter where you are in your journey, this podcast is your weekly reminder and your gentle nudge to grow into the radiant being that you're meant to be. So I invite you to grab your favorite drink, kick back, relax, and let's dive into the world of unapologetic self-love. Oh my goodness, happy 2024, you guys. I am so excited about this year, this new year. I feel good. I feel like things are going to be amazing for me personally, and maybe it's just in the air, so it's going to be amazing for you. And I'm just super excited about this year and what's to come this year. I hope everyone had a safe and amazing holiday season. New Year season for those who celebrate it. I know other people don't typically celebrate it until the March, but we made it, y'all. We made it. Yes. I hope that you guys took, the previous advice. Just for my old listeners, real quick, took the previous advice and stepped into this new year just bold and beautiful like you are, But anyways, I digress. Welcome to the Neo Self Care Podcast. I am your host, Vashti Maya, and as you can see, I'm super excited to be back. Didn't even welcome y'all, just kind of got started. But yeah, I'm so excited that you're here. Welcome to all new listeners. Welcome back to all my original listeners. I am so grateful for you guys. I did go through this revamping of my podcast. I'm super excited about, just because I was like, okay, how can I make this even more me going into the next year? And so you guys are probably gonna notice differences in the intro and the music and really the way how the podcast is going to be formulated now too. So I'm really excited. There was a couple things, feedback that I got from people, some things that they wanted me to add that they noticed I took away, some things that I wasn't doing that they wanted me to hit on. So I'm really excited about this new year. As I mentioned, a lot of things are different for the better, right? Because growth is important, change is important, So yeah. I'm so excited to be back. This year we're gonna have some guests come in. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be great. This is already a great year. It's already a great year, and it doesn't matter how it started for you. What matters is how you finish it. Never forget that. Okay, so for you guys who don't know me, I am formerly known on TikTok as Emerald Tarot. I no longer am that or affiliated with that. I am just me now, and so I know that a lot of my followers came from TikTok. A lot of you guys were just brought on to me, and I welcome you, and I'm so thankful for you. But with that being said, I am a typically more spiritual person, so sometimes I will make the reference for source or spirit or universe or God. I use them all interchangeably, but I want you to know that if I do offend anyone, it is not my intent. It is not my purpose. This is my disclaimer for the entire year. But please note that that's just how I work, and I try to utilize each one because I know that we all have different beliefs, and respecting people's beliefs is important. So I typically don't go over this on episodes, but I like to get it out the way on my first one so it can set the tone for the year. This episode is very different. Okay, so with that being said, we're gonna be segmentizing the show, meaning that each week there's going to be a new order, a new little segment. So the new segment that I'm introducing for the year is called the Gem of the Week. That's kind of if you're from my TikTok, you get the gem part, right? But it's called the Gem of the Week. And so each podcast we're going to be talking about, something to hold on to think about, to flow with you. for the week. And I think that that's going to be like super beneficial, especially depending on what we're talking about, because you get something from the beginning, you get something in the middle, and then you get something in the end. You know what I mean? So we're going to do that. We did bring back journal prompts because I had a couple of people hit me up online in person mentioning the journal prompts. And so we are bringing those back as well as just the energy of the week. We're going to be focusing on the energy of the week as well, so that you guys can take that with you. But yeah, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Again, I know this is kind of like dragging out, but that's because it's the new year. It's the first episode of the new season. So yeah, I'm excited. Okay. All right, you guys. So today's gem of the week is savor the spontaneity. Okay, savor the spontaneity. So this week's gem is a reminder to savor the beauty of spontaneity. Life's most thrilling adventures often unfold in the unplanned moments. So embrace the joy of the unexpected and let spontaneity be your compass. Whether it's a detour on your daily walk or a last-minute decision to try something new, relish in the magic that happens when you open yourself up to the thrill of the unknown. Adventure is not just a destination, it's a mindset. So this week, let spontaneity guide you and see where the uncharted path takes you. Now, I want to rewind it back a little bit to where it said adventure is not just a destination, it's a mindset. Because that's what we're actually going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about having an adventure mindset. And I wanted to bring that up, especially now on this episode, because as we are starting the new year, this is the first Tuesday of the new year, the first week of the new year. January is a 1 month. Everything is about ones, new beginnings, right? And I want to talk about like really going through this year different. Like that's the whole point. That's the whole purpose of growth, right? To change. And I think that making a change, like having some type of like adventurous type of like mindset or lifestyle, I think that that's gonna really how do I say this? I feel like it, in a sense, is gonna really like set the tone. Set the tone for how like the rest of your year is gonna go. Because if you start strong, then what? Like you end strong, right? Like that's kind of just how it goes. And so, having that mindset is important. So, what is an adventure mindset? I really like. I don't think there's like. I'm like, do I give like a textbook definition or do I give my definition? To me, an adventure mindset, like, it's just seeing more. It's like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like not necessarily being in control of everything. Maybe you are hit traffic and you weren't trying to hit traffic, but you just flow with it. Maybe it's like you see the sun and you have the type of idea of, oh, the sun is out here shining for me today. Like as if it was like really for you. But, like, so it kind of shifts. It's like having the opportunity to, I think it's like having the opportunity to control even though it's not controlled. Do you know what I mean? Because like you're controlling the lack of control. Does that make sense? I think it makes sense. Like you're controlling the fact that you're not controlling, therefore controlling the situation. But but just having like that curiosity to do something different or to like go with the flow can really transform like routine moments into like more exciting opportunities. So like if you're like driving to work, maybe the commute that you typically would take, but then you go a different way, right? Because not only is that creating like a distraction in your normal routine, which is making your mind more aware, but it's also doing something different. And sometimes it just takes a little bit of something different to like get you motivated. Do you know what I mean? Like, have you ever told yourself you were gonna do something, and it was just so boring? Like, there was no like reward from it. It wasn't fun. It wasn't attractive, and you just was just like, no, thank you, right? Like, you're not interested in it. But when you're able to have like an adventure mindset, you start making things or finding things that are more attractive to you. Therefore, encourages you to actually do something more. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. But yeah, like, so having an adventure mindset just, is almost like stay ready so you don't have to get ready, right? So be open to receive things that are, coming towards you. But at the same time, like, don't like force look for something coming towards you. Sometimes people will be like, it's kind of like back when I used to do tarot cards, like people used to be like, oh, am I going to find love? And I'm like, yeah, you're going to end up finding somebody, you're going to end up finding somebody, this person's going to be great, blah, blah, blah. And then they go out, every time they go out their home, they're looking for it. Now you're trying to control the situation, trying to control when it's going to come to you, trying to control, just... You just gotta let it go. You gotta let it go. That's all I'm saying. So it's like, you can't try to like manipulate it. You just have to like try to let it go. But yeah, so an adventure mindset is just a way of approaching life with an openness to new experiences. It's like a willingness to embrace uncertainty and a sense of curiosity and excitement about the unknown. And it absolutely does involve viewing challenges as opportunities for growth, or seeking out novel and stimulating experiences. But I think that the more that you allow yourself to be open to something new, the more that you allow yourself to be open to, the unknown, the more that you allow new experiences to flow into your life. Like, nobody wants to remain the same. You shouldn't want to remain the same. If you do want to remain the same, there's something wrong. There's something wrong. But nobody wants to remain the same. And so I feel like that, being curious, having that interest to even want something more, having the interest to try new things, wanting to seek out fresh perspectives, like things like that in itself, I feel is like driving and motivating, and it brings things in. It brings things into you, brings things into your energy space, it brings things into your physical space, it brings new thoughts inside of your mind, and looking at the whole year, can you imagine where you could be if you allow your curiosity to peak by having an adventure mindset the entire year? If you just go with the flow, if you just let go and let God, like, where could that bring you? Like, where would that bring you? Do you know what I mean? And so I feel like that it's key to start the new year, because that's the strongest that you can start it. Like, that's the full strongest that you can start it. Like, the thickest armor is like having that adventure mindset. It's also that openness to uncertainty, right? So it's like that willingness to step outside of one's comfort zone and face the unknown with like a sense of adaptability or a sense of resilience, right? And we talked about stepping out of the comfort zone. We know that growth happens where? Outside of the comfort zone, right? And so when you take on that adventure mindset, you're now challenging yourself to do something greater. You're challenging yourself to do something different. You're trusting in your abilities. You're trusting in what's, like who you are inside. Therefore, becoming what? The greatest version of you, which is what this is all about. Neo self-care is just a new way of doing self-care to become the best version of yourself. Having that adventure mindset also has to do with optimism. And what is optimism? A positive outlook, seeing challenges as opportunities, seeing setbacks as learning experiences, seeing your life as a grand adventure. Now, let me tell you, because y'all know that I keep it real. I gotta tell a little story here and there. But talking about optimism, like, I used to be an optimistic, pessimistic. Like, both of it. It will be like, oh yeah, I believe things get better, but maybe not for me. And that's how I used to be a lot. Or like, When things are going good, it was easy for me to be optimistic. But the minute when things were not going good, oh, the optimism would be, it would be a little hard to catch on to, just to be honest. But I had to work at it and had to work at it and had to work at it. I had to see challenges as opportunities. Even if the opportunity was just to prove to myself what I am capable of. I did have to take my setbacks and turn them into learning experiences because I had to realize that I was going nowhere if I continued to look down. Do you know what I mean? So like now I do look at life as an adventure. Now I do look at moments. Now do I have those times where I kind of go back? Yeah, why? Because I'm human, right? And the human being is flawed naturally. But it's still just like the process. You start the process. You do a little bit. You do a little bit of something, and it will eventually get you to the place of having a whole lot of everything. Do you know what I mean? The next thing with an adventure mindset is flexibility. So the ability to adapt to changing circumstances, navigating the unexpected, taking all the twists and turns in life with a sense of creativity and resourcefulness. You see, ultimately having that adventure mindset it's like it helps you to utilize your left and your right brain, both. It's like a balance in a sense. It's like you balance yourself out, you know? And so you have to find ways to become more flexible, to be more optimistic, be open to the uncertainty that's coming in life, the curiosity, because you're going to be able to kind of just like smooth sail across the year rather than fight every type of, twist and turn that comes up. It takes courage, having that adventure mindset. Because you're facing fears and you're taking calculated risks and you're understanding that growth often happens beyond the boundaries of familiarity. And how many people just sign up to do that for fun? I mean, let's be real. But at the same time, it's like we can do that and enhance ourselves and grow and become better versions of ourselves. Or we can stay where we've been at and look at things differently and fight our way through. The last component of having an adventure mindset is presence. Being fully engaged in the current moment. Appreciating the beauty of the journey and finding joy in the process rather than solely focusing on the destination. So ultimately, cultivating an adventure. I was about to say an ultimate mindset. Cultivating an adventure mindset involves consciously choosing. Sorry, I got a message just came in. Cultivating an adventure mindset involves consciously choosing to approach life with a spirit of exploration. So basically, you're embracing the inherent uncertainties and you're recognizing that every day offers an opportunity for discovery and personal growth. And who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want that? So if you can find a way, even if it's just once a day, once a week, once a month, right? Because it's the little steps that really matter. To open yourself up to spontaneity, to open yourself up to the unknown, to open yourself up to something that you do not know, something that you're ignorant about, to open yourself up to releasing control. If you can just do that and commit to that just one time until you can make it a daily thing, I want you to really see where it takes you. Notice the difference. See what is the difference. What is the difference from when you are fighting something or resisting something until when you just go with the flow? How does it feel? What do you notice? What stands out? And not only what, the things that are around you, but within yourself. What stands out within yourself? What do you notice differently about yourself? What do you now tell yourself? Taking on an adventure mindset, I feel like that is like the secret weapon or like, I don't even want to say weapon, like, but it's like the honor shield of 2024. It kind of reminds me of the book The Four Agreements. Like, one of the agreements is to not take anything personally. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if you were a person that took nothing personally? You would have such a level of, I am living all the way in my own world, that it wouldn't even be funny. Like, you would be the epitome of unbothered. But that is having an adventurous mindset. You see, because life is exactly what you make it to be. And no, you cannot control other people, but you can control how you react. You can control how you respond, and you can always control how you see yourself, because you are you. And I feel like it's about time for you to stay you, right? Last week's episode was about what? New year, true you. Being who you are, not fighting the current against your originality, not fighting the current against, who this the essence of your being, your inner being, who you are. And even being yourself is going to take an adventurous mindset, because you get so conditioned to being who you're not. And you have like this energy place that you have to portray yourself to be a certain type of way. Or you just simply don't know yourself at all, because you have always been stuck in this loop of people pleasing and people shifting, or emotional shifting to what people wanted you to be, that you have lost the direction of who you even are. But it's like when you just go with the flow, you start to realize, oh, I like this about myself. Instead of like following a routine, you do what feels natural, what comes natural, the opportunities that are naturally presented to you. And then you're like, oh my God, I had no idea that this is what I liked. Because you have been stuck on this like robotic routine about somebody who you barely even are. And that's not for everybody. A lot of people do know who they are. So I'm not talking to everybody. But I am saying that taking on an adventurous mindset, or adventure mindset, it does more for so many different parts of your life than just one, So it's like we could talk about one thing, but then it does something for the other thing, and then it does something for the other thing, and then before you know it, like everything's being helped. Everything's just flowing. But that's what we want, right? That's alignment, right? That's alignment. So yeah, I think that it's important to take on that mindset. And I wanted to bring it up at the beginning of the year, because it's a good time to start something new. And this is when a lot of people want to start something new. Rather you started last year and you're coming into this year with it, or rather this is your first year and you're just getting started, whichever one it is, you are exactly where you're supposed to be. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. And yeah. So take on that mindset. Take on that adventurous mindset, my friends, okay? So I want to move into the next segment, which is really just the energy of the week. The energy of the week is me taking the time out to pull a weekly card to focus on the energy. And so for those who know and understand traditional tarot, then you will understand the cards that I'm saying. For those who don't, then it's just a message, to be honest. But the card of the week that we have is the Magician. And I'm like, go figure, because the Magician is the number one card. January is the number one month. So we're in this whole new year, right? So the Magician card, as the energy of the week, is saying to really focus on, I feel like it's important for us to focus on utilizing the things that are supplied to us naturally, right? So sometimes some of us, we make it really hard by saying, like, oh, I don't know what to do with my life. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. But things that you're naturally good at. And the things that, whether it's creative or whatever, the things that you're naturally good at. The things that you enjoy doing. And so, you have to remember that sometimes the things that we're looking for is not too far in front of our face. I feel like it's just about shifting the focus and noticing that the answer or whatever it is that we're searching for is right there. This card also is a reminder for this week to know that you have it within you to make things happen. Know that you are capable. You are a master manifester. We talk about that a lot. A lot of you guys have proved it to yourselves unknowingly or knowingly. Sometimes you just have to test it and, to see proof. Some of you guys need proof in the pudding, and that is okay, but test it out. I feel like that with it being in the beginning, with it being winter, continue to write down what it is that you want to attract in life this year. Continue to write down your goals. Continue to write down, things that you're grateful for. Continue to write down your desires. Continue to write things down. And solidify things, because that's like planting seeds, right? And you want to flow with the seasons. With it being winter, you really want to get like the ground ready. You really want to just like get all the hard work out of the way. That way when spring rolls around, you can start planting those seeds. Some things that you've already like planted last year will start to begin to, sprout just a little bit until we get into the summer, and then things start blooming, radiating until we get into the winter, and it's just abundant. You know what I mean? So every season is important, and that includes the season that we're in now. And it's important to remember that and, wield your wants, speak your demands, speaking, rather it's like verbally speaking or speaking, rather it's writing, doing whatever. Become the visionary that you see for yourself. I feel like that this week is also taps into creativity, so it will be probably a really good time to start something new, especially if it's something that has to do with your hands. So if you're like crafting, or if you're painting, if you're drawing, if you're building, creating, any type of healing, any type of thing of that nature, I feel like that it's a really good week to start something new. I know, like in the previous episodes, we always talked about hobbies, and I still feel like the hobbies are super important. And so maybe this month is the month that you decide to find a hobby, which will be great. Discipline is going to be important for this week, just to focus. It's all about what you should focus on. Focus on having discipline, even if it's just something small, even if it's something light, but practice discipline, practice wisdom, practice understanding. It's a good time to read a new book as well, okay? Like, I know it is, like, it's January. It's a good time to start anything. It's a good time to start anything. And it's a great time to go into what you're starting with an adventure mindset. So just be mindful this week that you are the creator, that you are the boss, you are the manifestor, you are the author, you are the one who determines if you're going to be optimistic or not, if you're going to be committed to what you're doing or not, if you're going to allow, God to lead or not, if you're going to allow for your spirit team to guide you or not. It's up to you. It is up to you. You are that person as above, so below. You are. And so that's what I feel like, just for the energy of the week, is what we need to know, what we need to focus on. I will say that I do hope that you guys really, 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 really consider shifting your mind this year. I think that I always say it, but I feel like that, we know what to expect from what we've been doing. And so you don't want to look at the end of this year, December 2024, being exactly where you were last year, December 2023. You want to see major growth. You want to see major improvement. You want to see major change. You want to see, like, I don't even know. But you want to see something massive, you want to be like, dang, I'm so grateful. Like, I'm so grateful that I am nowhere near where I was last year, or that I'm not. I'm further along than I was. You don't want to be like, damn, I'm at the same place or worse. You don't want to do that, right? And so we already know that in order to receive, in order to do, in order to get what we have been getting, we have to continue doing what we've been doing. But we don't have to do that anymore. We can change our mindset. We can decide. We can choose, right? That's the blessing of being human. We can choose to do something different. And when we choose to do something different, we get something different. So take it on, like challenge yourself, prove to yourself that you can do something different, prove to yourself that you can become greater, that you can become bigger, that you can become better. And it doesn't matter if you have a moment of weakness or you have a moment where you slip back and do the old thing. That's okay. Realize it and be like, dang, I fell off, but let me get right back on again. See, it doesn't matter if you fall backwards and fail or, whatever it is that you want to consider. That doesn't matter. What does matter is that you get up and you keep going, that you keep pushing through, that things continue to work out for you. Do you know what I mean? That is what matters, period. So, yeah, I hope that helped you guys out. I really do. Adventure mindset. Don't sleep on it. I'm not sleeping on it. But all right, so that brings us to our 3 journal prompts that were inspired by today's episode. Each week we are going to be doing 3 journal prompts that are inspired by the episodes, just so you guys know. So the first one is going to be called Everyday Expedition. And pretty much, I want you to embark on a mental adventure today. So I want you to write about a seemingly mundane aspect of your daily routine. Maybe your drive to work, maybe a daily chore, maybe a routine task. And I want you to just explore how you can infuse it with a sense of adventure. So what small changes can you turn this routine into a thrilling expedition? What minor adjustment can you make to turn it into something fun? Typical thing, whether you're driving, do you need to listen to a different type of music? If you're doing a daily chore, do you need to dance while you're doing the dishes? If you're brushing your teeth, do you need to, close your eyes while you're brushing your teeth and visualize something? So really, really get into it. Make those, notice what you can do differently, and then start doing it. Start doing it. You see, it's not hard. It's not hard to incorporate like an adventure mindset. But yeah, just start doing it, and see what happens for you. Okay? Excuse me. So the second one is going to be unleashing the inner explorer. So on this one, I want you guys to reflect on a moment in your past when you embraced the unknown or tried something new. How did it make you feel? What did you discover about yourself? And then I want you to consider an area in your life where you can unleash your inner explorer again. I want you to take note of what steps you can take to infuse a sense of curiosity and adventure into this aspect of your life. So if I was writing on here, because I want to give examples, because sometimes I've known some people don't know how to necessarily answer the questions. So reflecting on a moment in my past when I embraced the unknown or tried something new, I would say would be last year when I went to the Smoky Mountains. We went up to Anakista in Gatlinburg. Was it Gatlinburg or Pigeon Forge? I forget, but in the Smoky Mountains, the Anakista, and I went ziplining for the first time ever. How did it make me feel? I was at first a little afraid. I'm not gonna lie, I was scared. I was scared as fuck. I was scared as shit. Like, I really was. But I did it, and it felt so exhilarating. Like, my adrenaline was through the roof. It had to be. What did I discover about myself? I discovered that I had the capacity to be fun. I could do things fun and I would be okay and I would be safe. And that I realized that I have a fun part of me that wants to come out and wants to live, and that, I could do certain things. And so that's how it made me feel, that right? And so then it says, now consider an area in your life where you can unleash your inner explorer again. What steps can you take to infuse a sense of curiosity and adventure into that aspect of your life? So I could say in my food choices, like my cooking, the dieting or the way I choose to eat, right? I feel like that doing something adventurous, trying something new, trying new foods, doing something new, telling myself yeah, I can make healthier foods, because y'all, I be telling myself oh my God, we need pasta. and more pasta and more pasta. But like I could tell myself like we could do something different. We could do something new and make it work. I just gotta big myself up. Sometimes it's just about bigging yourself up sometimes. But yeah, I feel like I could do that. I could do that. And yeah, so yeah, and now I just answered that question. So it's not that hard. I think they're just a little, straight to the point. And then our last one is gonna be fear-facing journey. So, adventure often involves stepping out of our comfort zones. So, I want you to identify one thing that you've been hesitant to try or explore due to fear or uncertainty. I want you to write about the specific fears associated with it and then envision a journey where you face and overcome these fears. I then want you to write how the adventure mindset empowers you to tackle challenges and embrace the unknown. So this is just about looking for fear in the face and being like Neo and saying no. You know what I mean? That's what it's about. But like identify one thing that you've been hesitant to try, or you've been hesitant to explore due to fear or due to being uncertain. I want you to talk about the specific fears that you feel with it. What about that fear? What is it? What's it saying to you? And then after you write down that fear or notice that fear, I want you to see yourself with that fear and see yourself overcoming it. See yourself overcoming the things that you're afraid of. And take note of how the adventure mindset empowers you to tackle challenges. So those are your 3 journal prompts for the week. I do hope that you guys enjoyed today's episode. Like I said, I know I was doing a lot of talking in the beginning, but I was just so excited to be back. I really was. But yeah, I hope that today's episode was able to resonate with your soul. I do appreciate you guys for being here so much. I love you. I love you. I love you. I will be back with you guys next Tuesday with a whole nother gem of the week, a whole nother topic, a whole nother energy of the week, and some more journal prompts. So yeah. Happy New Year, you guys. I hope you have a fantastic 2024 season. It can only go up from here. You can only go up from here. I love you so much. Take care. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. You know I like to keep it real and authentic with y'all because that's how true change comes about. Thank you so much for the love, and remember to share this episode and other episodes with a friend who may need to hear this. Stay you, stay Neo. See you next time.